Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Max Payne 3 hardcore difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the beginning, and what I'm showing you right now is I'm not going to be using the golden guns because they actually give you bonuses and they make your guns better. So to make this in par for people's first time through the game that might not be finding all the guns, this should hopefully help them. But you'll notice I picked hardcore as opposed to old school, and I'm kind of confused actually, if I'm honest, because on the menu just there, old school is listed after hardcore, and it's also listed with a description that makes it seem as if it's harder, because this is called a tough challenge, and old school is entitled a brutal challenge, and to me, brutal is hard. It sounds a lot more fierce than the one for this, but when I've looked on the internet, everything has said that this is the harder difficulty, so I did the first level on both of them, and I can guarantee you, on old school you don't have the ability to be revived thanks to painkillers when you get down but not out status, and while that is exceptionally useful, you do not take the same amount of damage that you will on this difficulty. Hardcore difficulty is the hardest. Obviously don't count New York Minute because that's completely different, but just for the campaign and no time limits, you know, disclosed here, this is the hardest challenge setting, and it's hard. This game is legitimately difficult, and it's difficult for good reasons, but it also has some things that kind of make it a little worse than it should have been. So this is chapter 1, Something Rotten in the Air, and you're going to notice that I'm removing all cinematics, I'm removing all that kind of jazz, and it's a staple of my walkthroughs to anybody that's seen my stuff before, but also Rockstar are extremely critical about spoilers and about removing videos on YouTube, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to post this, purely because I've heard they're exceptionally anal, but I'm going to do my best. Anyhow, this is a pretty short mission, so I can't talk too much strategy in it because you don't really need that much strategy, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a couple of principles to live by when you play this game. The first one is, do not play this like you played the other Max Paynes. If this is your first Max Payne experience, then you're probably just going to evolve as you play the game. This game is all about staying in cover. It's all about intelligently using your slowdown and making sure that there is as much between you and your enemies as physically possible. And doing this right now was the way you beat the old games, but on this game, if you do that too much, you're going to die. And I know some people are probably going to be upset by that, because I was as well. You can't play this like you used to. If you dive around thinking you can outshoot people with your gun skill alone, you're gonna die, because Rockstar have taken this game from Remedy and made it their own, and in doing so they've changed a hell of a lot of mechanics, and it kind of sucks what they've changed if you're a purist, but at the same time I understand it because it's made it a much more balanced experience, but the balance has been completely in your opposition's favour. It's made it so that you are just as vulnerable as your enemies. And the best way to approach every situation in this game, if you can, is to do what I'm doing right now, and that is the third-person shooter cover trick, where you just manipulate the camera so that you can shoot enemies around corners and they can't shoot you. And that dude there, be very careful with him, because the amount of times he's put me into that, you know, shoot them or you die mode is ridiculous, because he's so sneaky and I forget he's there. But this first sequence here, shoot the tyre on the car, that will stop the car, and it'll put you into an interesting situation against a couple guys here, which is just these two dudes. And the shoot dodge is deceptive because it makes you think you have more time than you actually do, and that kind of sucks, it really does. But they are a bunch of mechanics that I'm probably going to talk about in a video that's a little bit longer than this one, so I can give you a detailed breakdown on strategies and on exactly how you should be treating situations, because you do not have regenerating life on this game, and even playing the game through on hard is difficult, and we're kind of spoilt as gamers right now because we're so used to games holding our hands, and this one is a lot stricter than you might be used to. So hopefully this guide should help a lot of people, because this is a challenging game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next mission. You take care now.